Are you good to go? Is it started?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Krasnick. I'm going into my last year at the University of Michigan, and this past summer I was the design intern on the belts team, and I had the opportunity to work with Ellen as my supervisor. So let's get started. We all know that panicked feeling you have when you reach down into your pocket and your wallet isn't there. Or you're on your way out the door and your keys aren't where you left them. Has anyone had this feeling in the past couple days? Or maybe today? Well, what if these devices had something in them that would allow you to locate their location and therefore make it impossible for you to misplace them? That's what we're talking about today with my product idea, TrackBack. So let's start with the most important person, who's the user. Everything we do is for our consumers, and consumers are always looking for new products and new experiences that will make their lives better. But our world is changing very fast, especially in terms of the way that we interact with technology. Now more than ever, consumers not only want, but expect technology in their products. So it's time for Randa to invest in new opportunities that will allow us to keep providing the best product for the consumer. So I decided to do a little consumer research here in the office, and I sent out a quick survey and found that 64% of employees surveyed here in the Chicago office often or frequently cannot find their personal items. And so while this is not an unbiased sample size, it did validate my thoughts that most people have a hard time finding things every once in a while. So I decided to look into this a bit further, and I found some interesting things. One, Americans spend an average of 10 minutes a day looking for lost items, and over the course of their lifetimes will lose over $5,000 in lost items. So it's a lot. But the most interesting thing I found is that the most frequently misplaced items are keys, phones, wallets, and winter apparel. Can anyone else think of what else these items have in common? It's that Randa makes or has accessories for every single one of these items. And so I figured there had to be a way that Randa could develop these products to solve this kind of problem before consumers even face it. So that is exactly what I'm proposing, a solution that Randa can provide the consumer to solve their problem before they even face it, and that's to integrate location detection technology into our products. There are different ways to do this, but one very simple way would include Bluetooth. Bluetooth is simple, it's well developed, it's inexpensive, and lots of products out there are already using it. And like I said, we would have a way to solve the consumer's problem before they even have it, eliminating the need for any secondary tracking devices and capitalizing on their increased willingness to pay for smart products. And lastly, this could be our entry into more tech-related fields and products, which would grow our customer base, our product lines, and our relationship with different retailers. So the product and brand that I created is called TrackBack. And similar to Exact Fit, this would be a Randa-owned private label as well as hardware and software. This would work on its own as a private label, but could also be integrated into other brands. TrackBack is unique in that it features the technology designed into the products themselves, but has a removable battery. And lastly, TrackBack would be connected to an application on your phone, so it could connect also to your network of TrackBack apps. So this is a render I created that kind of goes over how the product would work. Each of the products has this tab and rivet detail, which actually provide function to the overall product. So you can see here that this is a rivet that would become unscrewed, and that's what's holding the tab in place. Once the tab is removed, you can see it's covering an opening to the housing for the electronics that are inside the wallet. This is kind of just showing a housing for where the electronics would live. It would be removable for reasons of washing, which is really important for winter accessories. Maybe not so much for wallets, but sometimes these products do need to be washed. So if you wanted to change the battery, which would be about the size of a watch or a hearing aid battery, so it's pretty small, you could just pop it in and out using this door. It doesn't have to be opened. And then this is just an exploded view detailing what is necessary for the product. So we definitely need a battery to power it. There would be a speaker so that you could ring your device if you want to locate it. And then lastly, there's the circuit board / Bluetooth, which is necessary for tracking the device. So what would work best for us to start this process would be Bluetooth. There are different ways you can go about integrating location detection technology, but I believe Bluetooth would be best. It's very simple relative to other types of technology. It's already well developed, it's pretty inexpensive. Similar Bluetooth products on the market have a range of over 100 feet. They can be as loud as 100 decibels. They can sustain on a 1-year battery life. And like I said, it's pretty simple in that the chip that is in the Bluetooth just connects to the Bluetooth in your phone. So even like my grandma who has an Apple TV who doesn't know how to work it can work her Bluetooth speakers because it pairs with her iPhone. So there is some competition out there that either have tracking devices in them or are tracking device products. And one of those is a chip called Tile. However, Tile is just a secondary device that users buy once they have already lost something. So we have a way to be one step ahead of them. Second, there's something with an interesting name of the Woolet, which has Bluetooth and RFID integrated in it. And so there are some other similar tries out there like this, but what they all have in common is that they've been crowdfunded, or they're all being kind of developed online. So none of these products really have the scale or the connections that we have to be able to successfully integrate this into their product lines. So as I mentioned, TrackBack would be connected to an app where you log in, you can see your devices and view them. So I'll pass around, I have my packaging and a wallet and a mock-up of the app. There you go, thanks. So you can kind of see on this screen that I created a prototype of a wallet that has the Bluetooth in it, and so in this, the Bluetooth is showing that it's being located in our building. Then I created a couple different colorways for products that would start in this line, which would include the 4 most important items that we lose: wallets, keychains, phones, and hats. Next, I wanted to create a packaging that would allude to the fact that there is technology in this product and that it's not just a regular wallet. And in doing so, I used different icons to call out the Bluetooth, as well as call out a quick story on the back, so on first glance, users can see that there is something connected to a smartphone. Okay, so now into pricing. So developing products with technology is scary because there is an added cost. But that doesn't mean it would hurt us. So if we think about starting with RFID, the blockers that we've integrated into our wallets, that was scary at first because we didn't know how to optimize it. But now we know that adding RFID to our wallets is only 15 cents extra, and now we're integrating it into every single wallet. And we can see that consumers are willing to pay for these products. Tile sells for about $30 for something that's worth much less. And the Woolet sells for $129, but I will mention it is genuine leather, but still it's a high price point. So I believe that Randa can provide better prices for this product than these other alternatives. There is the cost of development of the hardware and software, which is a cost that Randa would have to absorb. And there is the added Bluetooth cost for each product. But with our scale, that could come down to around $1 a chip. So in the long run, with consumers' increased willingness to pay for smart devices, this would be offset. So like I said, as TrackBack being a Randa-owned private label, in hardware, we can integrate it into other products. So one brand that would be great for this is Levi's. Levi's corporate is already working with other companies out there to integrate fashion and technology in the products. So Randa Levi could also align with this. Another brand out there is Kenneth Cole Reaction. That would be great. Kenneth Cole Reaction has their line of Technical, which is integrating tech into their products, and so this is something else that we could work with. But what's interesting is that both of these brands are already moving forward with the consumer and the changing world in mind by integrating technology with fashion. So with a product like TrackBack, we can also align with this trend and be an even better asset for our brands. And so like I mentioned, Levi's Corporate is doing some really interesting things with technology and fashion. And one of those is that they're working with Google on Project Jacquard, which integrates conductive thread into their jackets, so you can use your jacket as a remote. And that's something that's actually coming out in the fall, and it's very, very cool. So that's just one example of, what's possible in development and where the world is heading. So we can see that Bluetooth would be a great first step for Randa, but we would have to do more. With all the other things like Project Jacquard that are out there being developed and all the competition that exists, we would really need to eventually do more to stay relevant for our consumer and continue to be an industry leader. So that's why I believe the best solution for Randa would be to develop all of our products into Internet of Things devices. That means we would integrate some sort of technology, no matter how small, into every single one of our products. The rest of the world is heading this way, and it's important that we get started on it before we fall too far behind, whether it be of our competition or of the technology itself, because things change very quickly. But what's most exciting about this is that there are endless opportunities of what we can make when it comes to integrating products with technology. Randa already makes, as we know, so many things, and there's already so much technology optimized out there for a smaller scale. Technology is just getting better, smarter, and smaller, so there are endless combinations of things that we can make. By integrating some sort of technology into all of our products, our consumers can create a strong network of devices that would work smarter together and therefore provide the best experience for the user. And as we know, we already have a lot of consumers and sell a lot of products. But let's say we were to add more or grow to this and add to the product line with technology in our products. Then there would be millions and millions of people out there walking around with Randa products integrated with technology. So that's great, that's special that we've reached a really wide audience with our product, but there's something else that's really special about that. And that's with every person out there that has a Randa technology integrated device, we can have data on them. And since TrackBack and the data is a Randa proprietary software, we have access to this data and we can use it from all these people that we collect information on. And as for the future of product development, advertising, and selling, data is extremely important. In fact, data really is the new oil. It's becoming a more and more powerful resource for companies to make and sell the best products, whether it's through analyzing data and targeted advertising or knowing what's best for the consumer. So Randa could have the power of this data to be able to use and sell among other big players out there like Amazon, Facebook, and Google. So in conclusion, TrackBack is a smart next move for Randa and aligns with the Moats, Boats, and Bridges motto. It's a moat in that it's going to protect us from other smart accessories moving into the market, but at the same time we're better than the competition. It's a bridge in that it's bridging us with this new technology into new industries, new markets. We can make new relationships with retailers and grow our customer base. And lastly, it's a boat taking us into the world of data collection. This is where the rest of the world is headed, and it can make Randa a very strong player. So with that, I just want to say thank you, especially to everyone on my team, and especially Ellen and Trevor for helping me with my wallets, and Dan and Katrina for helping with my packaging, as well as Davina and David for talking with me through my project. Thank you. And take questions.